Hey guys, and welcome to my English project for Semana Cultural. On this time, we're going to focus on the post-production of a video called refashion. On first place, we have the OMF archive that contains all the data that we need to work with the audio. So let's head out to Logic Pro and get to work. On first listen, I can notice that this is a raw mix of the voice and some of the other sound files that are included. So I started with the voice channel, because I noticed it needed more of my time to set it up the way I like due to the raw recording. In this case, we have to create a good vocal chain so we can have a more clear voice. We start putting some EQ to cut some of the lows and some mid-range too. With the EQ already set, I continue with a de-esser so we can get rid of that airy frequencies that we don't like to make it more clear and less sharp. I made this mostly with ear tuning, so when I hit the point where the voice sounds clear, I continue to the next step in my vocal chain, which is the Lander voice plugin. I use this plugin because I like the way it turns the voice up and gives brilliance and body too. So once I set it up right, we are ready for adding some color to the vocal to give it some presence and make it more warm with the little radiator plugin. And for our final step, I added a compressor so I can boost the voice in general and give it more body. With the voice already tuned and set up, we can jump to the next step. My next step in the process was to clear all the music it was already on the project. So I apply EQ to every music track that I have until I was comfortable with the results, cutting some lows and some parts and adding a little mids in others. Once the EQ sounded good to me, I felt that adding some warmth to the music can make it feel more close and more integrated with the video in general, and not just hearing it like it's apart from the video. So I apply some of the little radiator too for that purpose. And that was also made by ear until I find all the elements kind of blend in the same video. With all that process already done, I noticed that some fragments of the video were missing some sound design to make a full audiovisual experience. So I started adding some sound design and some effects to match it with the video, like camera flashes, money sounds, scissors, etc. Once I'm comfortable with the video, sounds, voice and music in general, it's time for the mixing part. What I like to make before start mixing is to put down all the faders and start mixing from there, starting with the voice, then the music, and finally the sounds and effects that I added. I like to make this process at least 2 times and compare it with the last version so I can decide which one I like the most. And with all that being done, the last part of the process is to add a final EQ and a limiter to the master channel to get that industry standard. Bounce and export the final video. Hope it was useful seeing my process for this project, and I'll let you enjoy the final results.
Although recycling is part of our vocabulary, it is not part of our wardrobe, which is why the second renaissance is here. Recycle, reuse, reduce. How? By giving the clothes that we no longer wear a second life. Refashion, the first fashion competition that recycles clothes from an entire country. 12 candidates face off in 8 creative challenges in which they must show that greatness is in their ability to adapt while demonstrating that recycling is glamorous. The prize, a life-changing cash prize and the title of the most sustainable designer of the country. A nationwide marketing campaign will be launched in which we will ask people to donate the clothes that they no longer use, from personal garments to drapes, aprons, sheets, towels, and more. We will also collect the stories behind each textile, fabrics laced with life, history, and emotions. A past that will be discovered and whose narrative will be redesigned as timeless pieces. Each week, the designers must create an outfit using a different kind of recycled clothes. For example, make dresses out of drapes, the way our great-great-grandmothers used to make. Our runway shows will take place in iconic, breathtaking spaces all around the country to show that fashion is everywhere and belongs to all. The outfits will be judged by our 3-star panel, 2 renowned fashion celebrities, and 1 famous guest that will vary in every episode. The twist? Instead of votes, our jury will place a price on each garment as it comes down the runway. The designer whose outfit collects the most amount of money will be the winner of the week, and the one whose garment was priced the lowest will be eliminated. It's time to rethink. It's time to rewear. It's time to refashion.